Welcome to Cash Grab, the podcast where we go through different franchises that have been turned into video games and decide if they're cash grabs or not. I'm Steph.
I am Tom.
And I'm Adam.
And today we are back into our old school format.
Yeah,
audio only.
No video today.
Well, we decided to go with audio only because we hate all of you. We hate all of you listeners, and we thought, actually, you don't deserve our extra time. And
That's
work.
not true. We just ran out of time.
Steph's a liar.
Well,
He's untelling the
So
truth.
we've got an audio. Oh god, you're foreshadowing for later.
How's that for a joke that nobody understands except us three right now?
So how are we doing then, lads? What have we been playing?
Go on, Adam.
nothing.
Nothing.
What about your
Nothing.
hunter? What about hunting European
Been
bison?
busy, mate. Saving the world one life at a time.
Oh.
Well, me and Steph both know that's not true. But
Yeah,
it is,
we won't go into
it's
it.
probably
but we-
something that, we shouldn't say publicly. Endangering the world one
Yeah.
life at a time. More like.
No one's dead yet.
No, that's true. Not
This
that's,
sounds really ominous.
That's always good. No,
Like-
he didn't
well,
actually hurt
it's
anybody.
fucking ominous.
It's not.
It's
Well,
not.
no, he didn't intentionally hurt anybody.
Whoa.
No, he
This
didn't
is making
hurt
it sound
anybody.
even more ominous.
He didn't hurt anybody, for the record.
No.
I did not touch that child.
I'm gay.
It would be great to have Kevin Spacey as a guest, wouldn't it? So what have you been playing, Kevin Spacey? I'm gay.
Right, we got that, Kevin. But
Watching
what about the Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
You been playing with that? I'm gay.
the Nintendo
Right.
Gay? I've been playing Gay Odyssey for the Nintendo Gay.
You know, there's more to life than just that.
What's it like? It's gay. What have you been playing, Steph?
Well, funny enough, I've been playing Mario Gay Odyssey. So I've been playing Mario Odyssey, and it's great.
But there's one thing I want to decide in the next 20 seconds, basically.
Go for it.
Who had the better Odyssey? Mario
Or Abe. Oh,
I think I'm going to say Homer.
Homer's
Homer's
Odyssey.
Oh,
Oh, fucking hell.
getting all
That's
classical,
very
yeah,
That's
that's
very
very
cultural.
cultured.
All right. Make it a freeway fight.
Right, well, I don't really know Homer's Odyssey, so I'm going to just get rid of that one now.
All right, he's been disqualified for
And
But it's
being gay.
Pretty good though.
yeah, it's classic, so
it's
probably pretty good.
It's a hard read.
Yeah.
But I'd say Mario Odyssey is more fun than Abe's Odyssey.
Cool, blimey.
Never played Mario Odyssey.
Did you play Abe's Odyssey?
Yeah. Back in the day.
I
I must have done.
Yeah,
Didn't I play
I
it?
must have. Actually,
Yeah.
I probably haven't.
Yeah. Who's Abe? No, so yeah,
Lincoln?
Interesting that we managed to get two Simpsons characters' names in the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Homer and Abe.
Homer.
Oh, yeah.
How funny is
and
that?
Mario. Oh wait. Yeah, so it's really good. I never thought I'd compare Zelda to Mario, but this, like Mario Odyssey, has the exact same thing that Zelda Breath of the Wild had, where you're running along and then you're like, oh, what's that? I'm going to go and explore that, and then you go and explore something else, and you basically spend 3 hours doing something that you didn't actually mean to do.
Yes.
And you're like, because there's
It
moons.
has the distraction effect.
Yeah. So there's power moons that you need to collect.
So
And
is that
they're
instead of
everywhere.
stars, by the way?
Yeah.
So they've got rid of stars, so now it's just
now,
moons.
now power moons. But when you collect one, you don't get kicked out of the level like you did in like Mario 64.
Yeah.
So you can jump back in, and you pick it up, you carry on playing.
It's
So,
free flowing.
Yeah, it is free flowing. It's unbelievable.
It's not open world, is it? It's like open environment.
It's open environments.
Oh,
yeah.
fucking hell, cool.
Yeah,
like
so-
sandbox.
Yeah, like
Oh, fucking
each
hell.
world's open, but you can quite quickly learn where the edges of the world are.
Right.
But then so the first proper kingdom is trying to fucking think of what it was. What was it?
Is it the Day of the Dead? Mexicans.
That's no. No, the first.
You
no,
know
no,
what?
So the first kingdom.
I
is the,
really wish that they had, in the game design for the Mexican level, that it had just a big wall around the outside. Sorry.
So the first episode was the first level, first proper level when you find the Odyssey, is the one with the T-Rex and all the advertising.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
yeah, yeah.
like a fucking really old, like Jurassic Park kind of world.
Yeah.
So like you're in there, it's got the chain chomps and all that, and I was running around. I got like 30 stars, I think, like 30 moons or something ridiculous, and I was like,
Fucking hell.
I've done so well here.
It's like 1%.
And then when I went out and looked back at it, I had like 20 more, and I'm literally I know where one is, but I don't know how to get it.
That's really cool.
And I have no idea where the rest are. But like, as you play,
it's
you
obviously going to encourage you to
learn,
go back.
Yeah.
And,
So as you play and you learn more things about the game, you'll then go back and it'll be like really obvious to you. It's like the same thing with the Korok seeds in Zelda.
Yes.
When you start learning about them, it makes so much more sense. If you started playing now, you just find them everywhere.
Yeah.
But when you first started playing, you didn't really know they were.
It's all like, exactly.
It's done so well.
I saw one Mario Odyssey thing. It was a video, and it was just titled Mario Odyssey encourages creative gameplay and exploration. I was like, okay, it was like a minute long.
Yeah.
So I just clicked on it, and it was this guy, and I don't know what level it was in. You know, I haven't played it, but it was like there were like two kind of like quite tall stone pillars, and they seemed out of reach. And then he came out of this kind of large stone building, and it was like much higher up than the two stone pillars. And I don't know, he used like a technique to get onto the two stone pillars, like, you know, one of those kind of like really quick kind of like duck jump, you know, hat sort of like really fucking complicated things. Got onto two pillars, and then managed to get onto the kind of side of this building, and it looked like it was a total out of bounds thing. Like you shouldn't be on it. It was like really kind of like slight steps, you know, and he was kind of like edging up, jumping, being super careful. Get to the top of it, and there was a pile of 2,000 coins.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
So Nintendo had thought like
someone's going to try. Someone's going to try
Yeah.
get up here.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah,
make
like,
it.
you
yeah,
see
they were
it-
just like fuck it, like that's a huge challenge to get up there. Let's put a massive
that's
reward
awesome.
up there. So
That's
it's
the
like,
thing,
It's
like,
really fucking cool.
You see it quite a lot. You go into an area, and then normally, like, so there's like quite a lot of you go down a warp pipe and you end up in this space which just doesn't really exist. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So there's nothing else around you except this one obstacle.
Yeah.
And it's got like moving columns, and you've just got to jump through the columns, or you're a bullet bill, or so, I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But you got to get to the other side. But then there's these two big walls on either side, and at the top of one of them is like a shitload of coins. But I'm looking like how am I meant to do that? Like, what do I jump in, wall jump up the columns, then jump along the columns and jump to the
But
thing?
that's it. Like there could be a
how
number
the
of ways,
fuck?
but it's just figuring it out. But
It's
that's
just like-
cool.
That
Like,
is cool.
It is really
it's
good.
allowing kind of like a creative process into a game is fucking awesome. I am
Yeah.
slowly changing my mind on it. I know I've been slating it like for the past 10 episodes, but I'm starting to
No,
think
it's
it's
come
I'm starting
out
to
and
think
you've
it's
seen
all
it.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I don't know yet if it's as good as Zelda. I think that's
different-
still Game
yeah,
of the Year, but yeah.
The thing is like one thing I can't get over with it is like Mario standing next to like normal human beings.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it does look weird.
because
But
there are like normal people in it. Like
I've
lot
not,
normal.
I've not seen any of the.
Yeah, it's like
oh,
normal.
yeah,
literally,
they go
the only
into
bit
like
I've seen is coming in and watching you play it a
for like
second
10
ago.
seconds.
But like, there's like normal proportion like human beings with like suits and hats on, just like standing about, and you're like, bit fucking weird. Do you know what
Well,
I
it's
mean?
only in one kingdom that you go to, and they're there. I mean, there's one human in the Sand Kingdom, but
What's he doing there?
he had one of the little like Mexican guys was gonna get a cab to New Donk City, which is what the city's called.
A donk is a slang word for a cock.
Yeah, but New
not
Donkey
dong.
Kong. That's dong, yeah.
It can be
Yeah.
a donk,
Can it?
a donkey donk.
I don't.
Get out your donkey donk.
No, because a badonkadonk's an arse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a donk is a abbreviation of badonkadonk, which is an arse. New arse city.
New Arse
New
City.
bum city.
New Arse City. I
There
like
you go.
It. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see him. It don't really throw me off too much, to be honest.
No?
No.
I guess I'm being a bit critical. You've made a sound penis with your voice, ever so slightly. Do you see it? It's going
I
now.
think you just see penises everywhere.
It's true. It's the Kevin Spacey effect. They've referenced him twice already. This is going great. This is becoming my favourite episode.
Well, should we get into it then? Or have you
Yeah.
been playing
Me.
anything? Tom, what have you been playing?
Tom, what-
Fuck's sake, Witcher 3.
Oh, for fuck's
I haven't
sake.
really. I've actually been playing Resident Evil Remake.
Right, so you finished Dead Space then?
I finished 1 and 2, yeah, and
Nice.
I couldn't be bothered to play 3. I like
fair.
3. 3's alright, but I just, like,
Yeah.
done them both in a row. But I found it for, you won't believe this, there was a CD key online, 70p.
For Resident Evil Remake?
Yeah!
Damn.
On Steam, and I was like, at first I was like, is this a hoax? Like, it could be. I haven't been on the website before.
70p.
And I was like, fuck it, you know what? if you don't get it, you've lost 70p. Who gives
Yeah,
a shit? So did it instantly. Got an email a minute later. Code. Typed it in. Totally legit. Got the game.
And how is it? Because I've got it on PlayStation, but I've never played it.
Did you ever play the original?
Yeah, I played the original.
It's fucking class, like unbelievable.
Yeah,
because
I know they've changed things up. So like when you normally walk into that corridor and the dogs burst through, they don't this time.
Yeah.
So you're like, you expect it, and then when you don't expect it, they burst in. So like, they've
that's
changed
good.
it. For people who played the first one, they've
Yeah.
changed it enough that you still get jump scares from it.
I fucking shat my. I was pissing myself laughing at this one point because like it's when. Do you remember the hunters in Resident Evil? They're like the large reptile men.
Yeah, yeah.
It's when they start getting in the game, like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the way through, they start coming in. And I was just down this one corridor and I was going to save because I hadn't saved in like over an hour. And I was like, right, gotta fucking save because it's beyond save point. So like, if you die then, you're going nearly an hour back to where you last saved. So I was like, gotta fucking save because I've done shit tons.
And it's the same thing. You have like, the ink cartridges.
Yeah,
all
and
that.
they're limited as well. So
Yeah,
you can
cool.
only save a certain number of times.
Brutal.
Everything's fucking limited. And the hunters were in and I was like, fuck, like, if I get caught by them, one hit, I'm done. I had no healing stuff. I had like 2 bullets in the shotgun. They usually take 3. I was like, I've just got to fucking run it and try my best. And as I went into the corridor where the save station was, there's like a pillar which like divides the room in 2. And I ran across one, and as the camera changed, because it's got fixed camera angles,
Yeah.
the camera changed, and just on the other side of the pillar, literally right next to me, was just the hunter standing there going, and I was like, fuck. It's like, so I kind of like slowly started backing out, and then I just realised like it was just stuck there, so I kind of like, I found it quite amusing, and I think I was a bit delirious, because I've been playing it for an hour, got so into it, and I thought I could die any second, so I kind of like, had a giggle to myself, went to go have a drink of water to calm myself down, and as I did it, the hunter just went, "Wah!" And I was like, oh shit! Fucking shat myself, like just got into the save room and stuff, but like haven't been scared in the game for fucking ages.
Nice.
And it's been fucking brilliant. Like Dead Space, like it's creepy, but it's mostly like jump scares and you know what's coming, and it's more action than horror. But like, it's been so good to fucking like have like horror back in the game, be fucking scared while playing it.
That's why I want to play Resident Evil 7 because apparently that done a really good job of it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play that at some point.
Yeah.
Really excited. You know what? I was thinking about the other day. I really still want to play Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm getting a hankering to play it so fucking
it's
bad.
So good.
I know.
Get ready for 200 hours of your life gone.
Oh, I've wasted 400 hours on Witcher. I'm sure I could sacrifice another 200. You know. Yeah, but anyway, no, that's me. So Resident Evil Remake is fucking brilliant.
Nice.
It's even better if you get it for 70p or less.
Yeah.
It's fucking
bargain.
good.
Anything's good for 70p.
Not penny sweets. That's a bit overpriced for a penny sweet, if you ask me.
What, the 1 penny sweet?
They're not really 1p anymore.
No, they're
like
5p.
Yeah, I mean
10p.
that's overpriced for a penny sweet. 70p for a penny sweet. Imagine one of those little shit straws. Imagine a straw.
I love straws.
Yeah, but imagine 70p for one straw.
I'd like to spend 70p on a pack.
It's
I
exactly.
agree.
You see what I mean? 70,
Anyway,
yeah,
enough on straws.
yeah.
Would you spend 70p on a can of 7-Up?
You are the best. You are absolutely the best.
Solid segue. Let's. Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah,
I mean,
would.
that's quite cheap nowadays.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to say that's
70p
actually
is not bad. It used to be
exceedingly
50p.
good value.
Used to be like 50p a can.
50p a can's now for those little mini cans
Yeah,
that
it's
children
ridiculous.
have. Fuck that. Fuck that. Which once again, in Kevin Spacey's context,
Oh.
is a very different. Is a very different. Fuck that. 3 times.
Right, so we are. Well, it's a bit different this episode. So we're doing Cool Spot,
Yes.
who was a mascot for 7-Up for 10 years
In
Yeah.
the US.
in the US.
In the
Between
US.
1987 and 1997. So, just on the outside of things, looking in, when you see that this mascot ran for 10 years, you must think to yourself, "Wow, he must have been an incredibly successful, vibrant, interesting mascot." The adverts, like, because there's no particular TV series or movie or anything, we watched through his back catalogue of adverts.
Yeah, they're all on YouTube. Someone's put them all up. Go and give them a watch. Give them a view.
Once again, what you said, does make you question the activities of man when somebody's got enough time to upload a continuous 10-minute stream of 7-Up adverts from between 1987 and 1997. You know, you know what?
Quite impressed I found it.
Get a girlfriend or boyfriend if you're Kevin Spacey.
No, I mean,
4 times.
We will say thank you to the guy because he did help us out for this episode.
He did.
So cheers, mate. And he's got a fair few views for it as well.
What's
Well
his
done.
what's his
13,000.
YouTube alias? Is it
Du-du-du-du-du.
an alias? Handle.
Handle.
Give me a minute, I'll find it for you.
You know what?
We're giving him a little shout out.
Has it
Well,
got- has
might
it
as
got
well.
anything
Go
to
on.
do-
He's sorted us out.
Sean S.
Sean S on YouTube. And
Oh
that's-
wait, no, that's not it. That's someone else who's done another one.
All right, forget that. Sean S, you're not our friend.
No, you are. You just
Not
not as much as
weren't
this
the
guy.
friend we chose.
Hold on.
Well, we could just say it was Sean S because this is 9 minutes of Spot. Oh no, Spot goes to
My
Hollywood.
super loud keyboard.
It is a super loud keyboard.
Right, here we go. Phantom Dusk.
Phantom Dusk. That's
the guy.
That's a good name for a 13-year-old.
He done it 2 years ago as well, actually. So that's
that's an even cooler name for a 15-year-old.
oh for God's
I'd be
sake.
interested to know where this footage is still available, other than YouTube.
Yeah, because there's a website dedicated to mascots.
Ah, okay.
So it's the mascot, the Mascot wiki, and
You think he just extracted
basic.
it?
No,
from-
well, the videos on here don't seem to load. So
And also, he had more.
Yeah,
he had a great.
got a
he
lot
had a
more
greater
than there are on
compilation
the,
than- yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe people have them on like VHS.
Sorry.
That they recorded, like when they're recording shows, they recorded the adverts with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know what? Actually, that's a great shout. If anyone's got spare time like this dude has, just watch old adverts from like 95. If you've ever seen like the older, it's like Carlton TV and like old school adverts like that.
Yes! Oh
They're all
my
on YouTube. They are. I
God.
used to spend hours at work just watching old adverts.
Used to. Used to.
I love that at work.
Right. So Cool Spot then.
Yes.
He is the dot from the 7-Up logo. So the red dot, that's him.
Well, the thing is like on the website that we're on at the moment, which is the kind of Mascot website or the Mascot wiki. It describes his appearance as Cool Spot is an anthropomorphic red dot with skinny arms and legs, with full-size hands and feet. He wears white gloves on his hands and white shoes, with a red dot on either side. He also wears narrow black sunglasses. He is flat and two-dimensional, which I think is more a statement of his personality.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because the funny thing with Cool Spot is that the one thing I think you need from a mascot, if you're a company, is although you need the image, you also need something which is engaging. Cool Spot has literally no personality. Let's be honest.
No, he doesn't have any personality.
But he does have sunglasses.
He does have something. Makes him
That's-
cool.
that's
That
it.
does make him cool.
It reminds me of
Also,
Poochie
he
from
has
Simpsons.
He has red spots on his shoes.
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
like self-portraits?
Yeah, no, they can become,
That's
Could you
fucking
imagine me
classic.
walking around with pictures of myself on my ankles?
Have you seen that
You're just the
comic
type
book?
of guy that could get away with that.
Have you seen that comic book panel when Superman fires an even smaller miniature version of himself out of his hand?
Please.
Right? Have you seen that?
No.
So Superman once had the ability to fire a smaller Superman out of his arm, I think, or of his hand.
Oh.
Do you think the Cool Spot has the ability to make his spots on his shoes turn into even smaller cool spots, who then have spots on their shoes, who can form even smaller
Like
cool
an
spots?
infinite
And
army
it's like an
of
infinite
ever
army of tiny,
decreasing.
tiny,
Can I just
tinier
say
cool
something?
spots.
This really links to my Metal Gear Solid thing because this literally sounds like something Hideo Kojima would write up. Like he would just get like fucking drunk one night and he's just like, yeah, Cool Spot nanomachines. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, why not? That's what it is.
This is literally like a Metal Gear Solid. Like this is Metal Gear Solid 6. We should front this to Kojima.
Well, we
should
can't.
be-
He's not there anymore.
Yeah, but he'll probably do it under his own thing at some point, won't he? Actually, no, he doesn't own the rights to Metal Gear anymore, does he? 'Cause
No, he's
Konami
not
kept
a
it.
Konami anymore because they're bastards.
So he's doing that Death Stranding thing, isn't he? Is it
Which
Death
looks
Stranding?
weird as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
looks
it's got like
proper weird.
loads of actors. The only one I remember is Mads Mikkelsen, who played Hannibal and Casino Royale.
Oh yeah.
yeah. All right. So
yeah, look, there it is. So look, there's
oh
the
my
picture.
god, we're
of
currently looking at a picture of Superman
firing a smaller Superman out of his arm.
What the fuck? This is so weird.
I mean, I don't know the whole story of all this. This is just something I've seen on YouTube and remember because it's fucking great. So
That is so fucking strange.
I'm just wondering if CoolSpot can just keep making them. Anyway,
He's
so
self-replicating, yeah.
CoolSpot's main ability, right,
It's
is
to be annoying.
yeah, but that's not what it says on this. But yeah, he is quite annoying. So
yeah.
his ability is is able to transform from the red dot in the 7-Up logo and back again.
Yeah.
So his only ability is to form from the dot into the Ray-Ban like creature,
He is quite Rayman.
and then turn back into the dot on the bottle.
It's sad, isn't it? It's a sad existence because, like, imagine if you yourself had a superpower, but it was only to be turned into an advertising tool. Like,
But the whole
like
thing-
Steph would be like, "Huh!" and then you just turn into like a Coke.
The thing is,
like...
his superpower is to wake up.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
He goes from being
Yeah.
inanimate to animate. I do that every fucking day.
Oh, great point, Adam. Well
That is
done.
a really fucking good point.
That is hilarious.
see,
but
like,
the thing is, his dating profile that we've got here is pretty bad, isn't it? His interests: 7-Up, being cool, surfing.
But the thing is, I've seen more tragic dating profiles.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, interests, burying heavy objects, rope, Vaseline.
His profile picture does make him look like a sexual predator, though. He's kind of got the claws going
he's got the
on.
claws.
Just,
hands.
just imagine like a shadow of a small boy spreading past his feet, and then instead of CoolSpot, it's Kevin Spacey.
Fuck's sake.
5. Oh shit.
Right, so his friends are other cool spots that all look identical, so that's good.
Yeah.
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 And
well,
his disinterests.
Nothing cooler than uniformity.
His
Very
disinterests are objects larger than himself, humans, caffeine, beverages that aren't 7-Up, e.g. cola. Now that gets us onto the main point of the adverts at the beginning.
yeah.
They just constantly rip apart Coke.
Yeah, it's a smear campaign basically.
Yes.
It's a smear campaign.
But it is a fucking shit smear
Yeah,
campaign.
it's fucking terrible.
Well, the thing is, it's like we'll get into like the whole thing at the moment. So basically, like, these are their initial things. So this is starting in 1987, their initial campaign,
Yes.
and basically this is a series of, I would say, like, I don't know, anywhere between like 7 and 10 adverts, which basically all have the same format. So it's like a kind of blackish kind of background. It's very, very plain. It's very to the point, and then it just has like a cola, but it's obviously directed at Coke. You know, it's a very generic sort of like cola, dark sort of thing, and it has all this stuff about like, your diet is too brown. There's too much brown in your life. You know what I mean? Like all of this shit.
Yeah.
But then, because it's trying to not be cola, I just want to be in that marketing room in 1987 when they're like, we want to brand ourselves as something different than cola.
Something non-cola.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, we can't be non-cola, and we don't want to just be like, drink 7-Up instead. We need something catchy. And then, like, some janitor like walked in, was like, oh, sorry, and they're like, don't mind me, I'm a bit uncool or something like that, and they're like, huh, uncool, uncola. 7-Up is the uncola, and they actually fucking went with that.
That's what they went
so
with.
7-Up, so it kind of like has these multiple ways of changing the cola in the adverts into a 7-Up by shaving it, by
It was
wiping it.
It was blinds, and they
Yeah,
opened the
using
blinds.
Yeah, they did it an oil change, like
A light switch.
garage. Yeah,
Yeah.
a light switch.
Yeah.
And it turns into a 7-Up, some kind of human, which CoolSpot's quite disinterested in at the time, because apparently it's in his
Yeah,
disinterest.
he doesn't like humans. Yeah.
Strange, considering his reliance on financial income relies on humans drinking his product.
True. Great point.
Mm.
Yeah, mascots probably shouldn't hate humans because they're the only ones that buy their products.
Ungrateful dick.
But then every time it finishes the advert with 7-Up, the uncola.
He's like, Put some back in your life.
What the fuck is
What
on?
the fuck is on?
What
It
the
was
fuck is
terrible.
on?
But the thing is, I think it got a lot more grating because we watched like 6 adverts in a row. And we
No,
were
but
just, each time it
I
got
don't
worse.
know.
the
and
first
worse.
time was just like,
But the thing,
what the? It's like a slap in the face.
yeah.
Like, put some on. What the fuck did you just say?
like, where did that come from? Put some in your life. Even if you try and put like a letter before it, like bun, pun, run. Put some gun in your life. Get a gun. Buy a gun. Kill
Put
yourself.
some in your life.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it just doesn't work.
But has nothing to do with 7-Up. It's only because they call it Cola, but that's just in the adverts. So,
Yeah.
but also,
It's not catchy.
doesn't sound like anything I want to put in my life.
No.
It doesn't sound like a positive thing.
And
No.
in your mouth.
Or in your mouth.
Do you know what I mean? Do you want to put some in your mouth? No, I don't. Step
No,
away
thank
from
you.
me. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, so we had a fair amount of
Kevin Spacey jokes.
we've had a fucking fair amount of them. So
There'll be more to come.
we had a fair amount of the Uncola adverts.
Yeah.
And they were all pretty crap until there was one on this montage that I quite liked, where it was a block of ice and it was a Christmas advert, and then they're hammering away at the ice.
It was pretty decent.
and they make a 7-Up, and then he jumps in with the straw and he bends the straw over and it turns into a candy cane.
Yeah.
And I thought, great. And then he went 7-Up, the Uncola.
Yeah, it's like-
fuck.
But then when like it was a Santa hand which picked up the 7-Up to drink it,
Yeah.
and I was like, already you've got to give Santa some, credit, because he is all over the fucking shop at Christmas, isn't he? Because he's also Coca-Cola's biggest marketing agent. He always drinks.
Yeah, it's not
Coca-Cola.
Christmas till you see the Coke advert.
So he's cheating on Coke with 7-Up, and he's having a 7-Up.
Isn't it ironic that the reason Santa Claus is red and whatever is because of Coke?
Coca-Cola.
They're using a Santa Claus in a red and white suit to
Advertise their...
kick
They
the
should
shit out
have
of
put
Coke.
him green,
They should have made him green, but then he'd be the
and then
Grinch.
he'd be the un-Santa.
He'd be the un-Santa.
That would be better. Make his own. Make them
Have
make
an
him his own
un-Christmas.
thing.
Yeah.
Don't steal
But
your
the thing
bloody
is-
rival's mascot.
With the whole UN thing, not the United Nations, the UN thing in this
Oh,
advert.
right.
I'm trying not to make this into too big a deal, but it's like with that whole thing. So Santa takes his 7-Up and has a sip, and he's like, "Oh, that's a lovely Uncola," and then it zooms out, and there's a sign, and it says "Winter 1 UN Underland, Winter Underland," and I was like, "Just drop it." I'm sick of it. I've had enough. I've only watched 6 adverts in the space
it
of
was-
3 minutes.
It was
tired.
quite brutal, really.
It was hard to watch.
So then the cartoon, it kind of changed into more of a cartoon kind of thing, didn't it? So then it kind of went into like a Looney Tunes-esque fuck 'em up.
It's
like
very
in
typical, like
2010s.
early 90s, isn't it?
Yes.
But it was like with Space. It's like more like Space Jam because it's
Yeah,
like
very much so.
live
Yeah.
action mixed with the animation.
Yes.
Yeah, where the spots come alive, one or multiple, they just mess up or wherever they are, and then they just hide again before the human comes in.
Basically, I mean,
There's no advertising for 7-Up at all there.
No.
The only advertising is when they get back into the 7-Up logo. But they literally, there's one, they're in a truck and they wake up from the truck and they press all the buttons and turn all the lights on and make all the noises, and then they get back in.
yeah,
And that's it.
It's
Like,
fucking pointless.
Yeah, I mean, you occasionally see like the 7-Up logo and stuff, but there's no real projection of 7-Up being the kind of main point of the advert. It's just
yeah,
like
it's not going to make you
there's
want to drink a. It's not going to make you thirsty and go, oh yeah, I'd like a 7-Up.
Yeah.
You're just thinking, what are these little bastards doing?
But this is the thing, it's like when the 90s came about and they started to change into this new format of advert and they got rid of the whole Uncola thing. First of all, good marketing decision, getting rid of the
Yeah,
Uncola.
well done.
That was definitely a good call, I think, from the top brass. But then basically it's like you say, they're pushing Cool Spot more as an entity or a mascot than the actual 7-Up itself.
Yes.
But at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, Cool Spot isn't really an entity. Oh, sorry, I think that's me. But he's like quite a non-entity because he doesn't really say anything. He kind of squeaks and makes
Yeah,
noises.
he just makes noises, yeah.
And if it was your first time seeing Cool Spot, and you're not kind of big on your soft drinks, you're gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? You know,
Yeah,
it doesn't have any bearing
there's
towards
no
anything.
personality to him.
No.
At all.
But the thing is, the advert, the first one we saw from the 90s, which is a jazz saxophonist
Yeah.
in like a tube station or a metro station,
Yeah.
and Cool Spot like
Oh,
goes
that would-
along
yeah.
and puts like a dime or something
He
in
like
his
he
case,
pulls a dime out of the machine and like drags
Yeah.
it over.
and the guy just goes, "Hey man, thanks, you're cool," and it was like that's quite clever. And because it was really subtle,
And,
he
like,
came
when
out of
it-
the 7-Up machine. It
Yeah,
was really
when
clear.
when the
big
camera came
7-Up.
down, it was like panning over the different 7-Ups. So like
Yeah.
it was quite 7-Up. It was clear 7-Up advert.
Yeah, and it was quite clever because it had the whole kind of "you're cool" thing, and it's like that plays in with his name being Cool Spot. You know, it was like. Adam.
Well, Adam, you need to look when the M&M mascot was made. Adam's just shown us a photo of the M&M
it's
mascot.
the red M&M. Yeah.
The red M&M.
Shit.
You need to look when that was
Who
made.
looks fucking identical.
Except for sunglasses.
Ex-
Maybe that's what Cool Spot did.
He
After
became an
lost
M&M.
work in '97. In '98, he became an M&M. He became Eminem, the rapper.
Yeah.
He turned into Eminem. Eminem.
So when was so Ad's just having a look to see when the M&M like people appeared
Yeah, but like I mean these '90s
real life.
adverts.
with the lizard people.
What the? Where the fuck are we going?
Have you never heard the lizard people conspiracy theory?
Yes. It's
Reptilians.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
About all of the like higher ups in the world are all
Oh,
reptilian aliens.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
very
the
it's very
M&M people
David
are with
Icke.
them.
The M&M people are above them. The M&M people are controlling the reptilians, who are in turn controlling us,
Perfect.
and we control the cool spots.
We cracked it.
We
Yeah, but then the cool
fucking
spots
nailed
become
it.
M&M people when they get old
Oh
enough.
shit! Oh shit! It's a vicious circle, and we're always losing. Damn, it's true. So basically, so these '90s adverts, they're kind of changing the direction, but like, it's missing the point of 7-Up, and it's trying to
No
target
luck ad?
Cool
No,
Spot.
I felt
Nice.
Adam's just spilt water all over the floor.
fucking hate M&Ms.
Hold on. Okay.
I found out that red M&M is 46 years old apparently. According
I
to
tell you what, he looks fucking good for his age,
But I
doesn't
think-
he?
I think that's
He's
not.
barely aged.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what it reminds me of?
But he's,
dog years?
he says he's 30 something,
like dog years.
but he's 46.
I don't know how you could. I don't know how you really label M&M years, because it's dog years is 7 years to a human year or thereabouts, isn't it? So,
So what's an M&M year to a human year?
well, if he's 46, oh fucking hell!
We need
So
to
he's
find out when
46
he was
human
made.
years. I would say an M&M year is 4 years to every human year. So he's 46 times 4, which would make him 90, 100, 100, 184. He's 184?
Sure.
He's 184 years old.
Yeah, why not? We'll go with that.
You know what? He looks fucking good for 184.
I mean, but he does look just like Cool Spot.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit fatter than Cool Spot as well.
Yeah.
He's
Well, as you get older, you put on a bit of weight.
well, that's true. He gets the what do you get? What do they call it?
The
Like a
fat.
tire. A tire.
Fat.
It's fat. Thanks, Adam. I'm glad you're here because you mentioned that and spilled my water. But yeah, so it's like I wrote actually desperate attempt to sell the character after the 1990s, but there's a total lack of the 7-Up itself. So
Yeah.
it feels like it doesn't know what it's trying to do. They're trying to sell.
It's like they're trying to advertise Cool Spot himself. With
Yeah.
7-Up being like the byproduct.
yeah.
So you're buying 7-Up for Cool Spot.
And I felt. Can I ask a question? The more we talk about 7-Up, are you wanting to drink a 7-Up? Is
Not
it
really,
having that
no.
effect on you?
No, not really. I
Could
kinda
go for a
want beer.
Coke.
Oh,
Oh.
I went for alcohol. Adam went for beer.
I'm
No,
driving.
Coke. Fuck.
I went for alcohol. Adam, you stop drinking, Steph.
I need to start drinking.
No, you definitely need to stop drinking.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have some rum and Coke.
If you have a rum and 7-Up, like a white rum and 7-Up, would it be an unrum? You see,
Undarkened story.
oh, these are fucking brilliant.
Oh god.
Oh, can we think of any more?
It'll be unbelievable.
The thing
This
is,
isn't what we do. We're not comedians.
the thing is that basically it's like, although those initial 80s adverts are fucking shit, you can't help but say the whole uncola thing is stuck in our heads because
it's
shit.
so annoying.
And in a way, it
It's
doesn't
like
matter whether it's shit.
It's like they compare the market in like all
Oh,
them
fucking
bloody
MegaDrive.
the singing ones and all that shit. The ones that are just crap and get stuck in your head.
Is
Go compare. That's the bastard.
Oh, with the opera singer.
Yeah.
He did. This is 100% true. My auntie was speaking to my dad a little while ago. Live in Gloucester, and she was like, "Oh yeah, something really interesting is happening." Something really interesting is happening in Gloucester, and my dad initially was like, "I'm skeptical." And apparently, what was happening is that at the Gloucester WI, the opera singer for the Go Compare adverts was doing a gig, and she was like, "Yeah, it's really exciting because nothing like that ever happens around here."
That sounds really exciting.
And hopefully, it never does again.
Yeah. Hopefully, Gloucester can go back to being a calm place where nothing happens.
Yeah, saw a cow the other day.
So, do you have any more anything to say on Cool Spot himself?
Well, about him personally, I like his shoes.
I like his sunglasses.
I mean,
and I like his gloves.
Together, we like Cool Spot.
or everything that isn't Cool Spot.
Oh yeah,
We like
don't
his
like- we don't
clothes.
like the
We
red
like his
dot.
clothes.
Accessories.
we don't like the red dot.
The thing is, I find the whole kind of like interests-disinterest thing a bit disconcerting.
It's all a bit weird, isn't it?
Because if they had planned this out beforehand as him having a set personality, why was it not put forward in the adverts? Why was he not more fearful of humans? Why didn't he attack bags of caffeine when he saw it? Why didn't he?
There was only one advert when he was surfing as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was a good advert. But,
But
it doesn't make you want to have
It
seven.
hardly makes it a serious interest in your life if you've done it once.
Not one of these adverts made me think, oh yeah, 7-Up.
Like
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
apparently it's not a huge interest to him to touch up boys because he's only done it once apparently. But
Once or twice.
once, yeah. But
Well,
if,
no,
he
he
does
tried.
if he does it more often, it'll become a more concerned hobby in his life.
Anyway, off the subject of Kevin Spacey, should we move on to the
We
game?
can go into the game, yeah.
So we played the Mega Drive game,
Yes,
which I had as a kid.
you did, and that's
And
what I remember it from.
loved it.
So it was.
I didn't know who he was at the time. I just had the game.
No, it's so weird, like playing it now and looking back at when we played it, because I was totally oblivious to
All the advertising.
all the advertising in it.
But we'll get to the advertising in the game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't realise. It was only when we started Cash Grab that I looked into it and found out he was a mascot.
Crazy, innit?
But we're English, so we probably wouldn't see.
Wouldn't
we
have
wouldn't
recognised
know
him
'cause
as-
he's in the
as the
United
7-Up.
States.
Yeah, very.
We
true.
had
Mascot.
Fido Dido,
It looks like one of those, those inflatable...
waving arm,
waving
inflatable-
arm dude.
waving,
Yeah.
We tried so hard to we kind of just filled in each other on a word. Wavy arm, wacky, inflatable,
flailing tube man.
We nearly got there, Steph.
You see them at car sales.
Yes. Yeah, he is like that. I prefer Fido Dido, to be honest. But I think that's
I don't
because
remember Fido Dido done.
I
just
don't remember him
him.
in any adverts. I just remember him on the cans.
I remember him walking around.
Yeah,
in
but I
adverts.
kind of like. I guess I would naturally like him more because I just remember him as a part of my childhood. I just remember seeing him on like
Yeah,
a billboard
exactly,
and was
yeah.
like, that guy looks cool. I didn't know he was a 7-Up guy. If I did,
You just thought it
I
was
wouldn't
cool.
like him. Say, I'm more of a Sprite man myself.
Like we got
That's the
ourselves a 7-Up guy.
Sprite's the real uncola, in my opinion.
Oh god.
So the game, right? It was released in August 2nd, 1994.
Also, I hate it when people call dates. You know when people are like, because you just kind of like half done
this,
it.
this has turned into like what grinds my gears. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know when people say like,
You know what annoys me? Sorry.
well,
Steph.
because you said August 7th and then you went 2nd, but then you said 2, right? It annoys me when people go, oh, May 11. No, it's May 11th, not May 11. Like
Alright.
that. fucks me right off.
I'm really sorry. So this game
Don't
was
you do it
released
again.
August 2, 1994. Or if you're not too keen
two-
on
the
that,
2 of
if you
August.
really like numbers, it's 821994.
The 2
This
of
was-
August.
the 2 of August. The 2 of August. And this was fucking hell. This was developed and published by Virgin Games for the Sega MegaDrive. Like
Virgin
Steph-
Interactive.
Virgin Interactive, indeedy.
It came out on like SNES.
Oh, did it?
Came out on loads of stuff.
Oh shit! They're really pushing Cool Spot as their advertising boy.
Advertising boy.
Look! I was really close.
Stop.
I was really close to my 8th Kevin Spacey joke. I'm
Stop
trying to
it.
set the world record of most Kevin Spacey jokes in a podcast.
Right, so it came out on Mega Drive, Sega
Kevin
Master
Spacey
System.
came out. Sorry. 9.
What's that one? Game Gear, Amiga, SNES,
the Game Gear.
Boy,
I
and
remember
DOS.
the Game Gear.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have a Game Gear.
It's fucking sick.
Do you?
Yeah. You put like 6 batteries in, you can play it about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I had the
It
car
sounds
adapter,
good.
so I could play it in a car. That's the only time I got to play
Is
it
that the one
properly.
where it fit in the lighter socket?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
brilliant.
So like,
isn't
I
it?
used to love going for long journeys because I could play my Game Gear for more than that.
It's the only time you could actually use it.
Yeah. I had that Shinobi game. It was great.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Right, yeah. So the Mega Drive game.
Yes. Oh, are there any differences between the actual consoles, by the way?
I don't really think. No, I don't think so.
Hang on, we should look at the regional differences, because obviously
So-
we remember playing it as the European version.
We obviously had the European version.
when
Yeah.
we were
So
younger.
in the European version, at the beginning of the game, Cool Spot comes riding in on a bottle,
Yes.
and in our version of the game, it's just a green bottle with no logo on it. And then he slams into the beach, and that's where you begin your first level.
Yes.
But in the US version, it's a 7-Up bottle.
Yes.
Now, this is because we had the Fido Dido, and they didn't want us to get confused thinking that Cool Spot was a 7-Up mascot, because they think, well, we'd be like, what about Fido Dido? And then there'll be fires, and there'll be anarchy.
Yes,
So-
too fucking right.
Luckily
there's
did that, otherwise
fires and
we would be in prison.
So what, still to this day?
Yeah.
After doing it when we were who did we kill? And how many of them?
Oh, we don't want to go into it. It was a horrible timeline.
Hang on. What's happened? Is this some sort of past life regression thing? Have you seen this happening? Have you seen what happened?
No.
The way you were kind of looking around inconspicuously, I was like, he has seen things. You know, it's like he's being stoic.
Yeah, so the game's it's a platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play as Cool Spot, and you can fire bubbles out of your hands.
Yeah, another thing that I was confused about for the whole game until literally we turned it off, I was like, carbonated. It makes sense. I was thinking to myself, why the fuck's he throwing bubbles? Like, what's that got to do with anything?
Well,
And then I was-
7
How
Up,
did you
innit?
not get
How
that?
did you not understand that?
Guys, at first I thought, he's on a beach. Maybe he's channeling the power of water. And maybe the next stage he'll be on a mountain. And maybe he'll throw rocks at shit. Because he'll be channeling the power of Earth. You see, I'm on a theme. And then...
But
it
level
hit-
2
a
was
stupid
dogs,
theme.
So
I mean, admittedly, I was grasping. But it hit me at the end. I was like, it's carbonation. Because 7-Up is carbonate. It's bubbles. It's carbonate. It's... He
Carbonated.
throws bubbles
Carbonite.
out of his fucking hands.
yeah, he throws the bubbles from the 7-Up
Out of his hands.
out of his hands.
So does that mean he, internally, is carbonated?
Yes.
Well, that answers my question. Thanks for that, Steph. I wish you'd told me earlier.
But rather than burping and farting all the time, he throws it out of his hands.
That's a good point. If you're internally carbonated, you'd be awful at dinner parties.
You would, wouldn't you? You'd be terrible.
Kevin Spacey's like, I really don't like him.
Say.
He's like, he shouldn't be at this table.
Are we not internally carbonated?
No.
Not to the point of...
We do breathe out carbon dioxide.
no, you're right, but we're not to the point of like a Coke bottle or
No.
7-Up bottle.
Because
an
then, if
Uncola
you ate a
bottle.
Mento, you'd fucking explode. And they're only illegal in most countries, I hear, but still legal in Britain. Because we're behind the times.
Yeah,
Mento.
Mentos aren't illegal, are they?
It's a joke.
Oh.
Oh. I thought it was like the whole fucking Kinder thing, which...
Oh yeah, Kinder eggs are illegal in America.
Yeah. I thought it was like
But
that.
guns are not.
Wait, no. Hang on. Kinder eggs are illegal in America.
Yeah.
Because Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell me why?
I can't tell you why. No, they're stupid. They're idiots. I don't know.
You can't put drugs in it and put it up your bum?
Because... Steph,
That's what they were being used for.
it's a child
No, but
chocolate
a lot
thing.
of them were being used to smuggle drugs around.
Children
Why
are
do you know
not
so
Kinder eggs.
much? Why do you know that people stick Kinder eggs up their arse to smuggle drugs? Why do you know this?
Common
I
knowledge.
don't know why I know this information. I just
That
do.
should worry you more. You should be deeply concerned.
I don't know.
When you don't...
I don't know.
When you don't know
it's
what
just
you
something you
picked up
know.
fucked up information. Because it's the type of thing, like if somebody says something like that to me, I'm like, I will never forget that you've
Exactly.
told me that.
Well, I never
What
forgot
do you mean
that.
exactly?
I never forgot the information. I don't know where I learned it from.
No, but that's it. Like the thing is, it's like if JFK got shot, it's like everybody remembers
He
where
did
they
get
were.
shot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
It's a shame I don't remember where I was. But like, it's like, you know, I would remember the time and place and everything if somebody told me that shit. Why did? Oh, for fuck's sake. Man busted after purposely going to jail to sell drug-filled Kinder Surprise eggs smuggled in his bum.
I
That
told
is
you.
dedication to the cause.
It would be great. You know
No,
what?
'cause the thing is,
Purposely
you
went to
can-
prison.
You can.
To say,
Yeah.
It's like, where's my target market? Oh well, everyone in prison's drug users. Well, I need to get arrested then. That is dedication.
You know, it'd be
Yeah.
so funny though, because he'd obviously had to buy a certain amount to get the toys to smuggle the drugs and stuff them up his bum. And say he bought, say he bought 20, but he only had enough drugs to fill up 10, and he just had them all lined up. But then the 10 he put up his bum were the ones with toys in them. So he obviously sends himself to jail, and he's like, "All right, guys, I got your gear here," and it's just like a toy car. It's like he would get shanked so fucking quickly.
But you can assemble it yourself. It's got stickers. Anyway, we got a bit off topic.
We have a bit, haven't we?
So, Cool Spot, the game.
He's firing bubbles at crabs. There are lots of crabs.
Raps.
Yeah, I mean, so like you say, he kind of plants himself off on this like tropical island, by riding on a 7-Up bottle. There's not really a plot.
No,
He's-
he's just on a beach.
He's there of his own volition. I think what it was is it's a point about littering. It's like a cruise liner came along and they're just throwing shit off the side.
Throwing 7-Up bottles off the
Yeah,
edge.
they're just like you know, it's unappealing to me.
Yeah. So, I wonder how many times I've done that. When Tom's just on one and I'm just not concentrating, and then when I realise he's finished his sentence, I just, yeah, so.
You know what? It's a considerable number of times each episode.
Yeah. Multiple times an episode. Anyway.
Yeah, so he's there. He's there. You know, he's on this island. But the thing is like the theme of the first level is like very much beach themed. Sorry, so you've got crabs, hermit crabs. Anything else?
Wasps.
You get a wasp. You get
I
a
think
wasp.
that might be a running theme because
The bees are in
it
the
kind
next
of
level.
repeats.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the crab
so-
thing.
So you land, you can jump, and you can fire your
Carbonated
bubbles.
bubbles. Yes.
You can fire them up, forward, down without moving, but you have to move to fire them in like an angled direction.
Very typical, like early mid 90s
Which
platformer
is right
sort
annoying.
of things.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so that's basically it. Your mission or your objective is to get 60% cool, so you can then unlock your friend from the cage, and that's level over.
Another thing I've got a bit of a misunderstanding with in this. Who locked up the other cool spots? Why? And for what purpose?
The M&M
Cola.
And also
Coca-Cola.
Oh.
King Cola.
So Cola.
King Cola. It was King Cola. That's
Sorry. Yeah, there you go. King Cola came along and locked up all the.
I've got the image of like, you know, Dragon Ball Z. There's like Freezer and Cola, but his dad's King Cold,
Cola.
isn't he? His
Yeah,
dad's
he is,
King
yeah,
Cold.
King Cold.
So I've just got this image of like a fucking giant mutant alien, but it's just a fucking cola bottle for a head, like one of the sweets. That's all I
Like a
can think
hammerhead
of.
shark.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. I'm going to start a biological research project with the money taken from Kevin Spacey's lawsuit and make hammerhead sharks with cola bottles for heads. That is my new plan.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
what
good.
I'm going to do.
No more movie ideas. Now you're going to make.
I had a new movie the other day, actually.
What have I done?
But I've forgotten what it was.
Good.
No, it was one of my better ones. It definitely was one
I
of my
doubt
better.
that. I
No,
highly
no,
doubt
The
that.
Lego mollusk.
No. Oh, Lego Mollusk is going to be a fucking. You know, that's the film they'll remember me for
Sure.
after I die, because they'll be like, oh, you know, Grandpa, that was a really funny film, and they'll be like, that was really good fun, and like they were like, Gam Babies was traumatizing, but then they'll be like, but Lego Mollusk is like one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen in my life.
Your Corpus Christi Carol.
Yes, it is. It is my Corpus Christi Carol.
It's gonna
It's
be
my
your,
it's my
like,
swan song. Is
your
what it is.
journey.
Yes, it's my journey. It's my swan song. It's what I'll be remembered for when I die.
Well, can't wait to see it. Not so you
basically
die.
just
No, no.
you know.
No.
Anyway, yeah. First time I get to do that.
I meant we'll see
Really
it
poor
now.
choice of words there,
Yeah.
mate.
I mean, we'll watch it now. Then when you pass, we'll be like,
You can finally
Lego Mollusk
appreciate
was
all the
so
messages
good,
in
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, man. So anyway, cool spot.
So, yeah.
So glad I get to do that. It's like revenge. But yeah, so he's on the beach, like we say. He's got to rescue his friends. The fact that his friends are there in the first place and he's kind of gone there ad lib from just riding a wave in the middle of the ocean is another point I've got an issue with. But anyway, let's not get into that. The platforming itself is quite straightforward, but it's quite responsive. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's definitely not bad. Like, there have been worse platformers before and after.
For sure, yeah.
So it's a solid platformer. So Virgin did good on that, I guess. But
The actual animations on Course by himself are good.
yes, like in some cases, really good. I find like the falling animation when he falls from a great height and he kind of like bounces
Squishes on the floor, yeah.
And like when you're idle, so when you're standing
Yeah.
still and he taps his foot and it goes to the rhythm of the music on the level.
Yep.
And that's another thing which is really good. The music,
music,
actually,
yeah.
in-game music is pretty decent. For
It's
the
pretty
most
good,
part.
yeah. Yeah.
But when it comes to like the animation and graphics of other things, so the environment and the enemies and stuff, not particularly great.
I think that, like, overall, I think the
It's-
graphics are fine.
It's average.
The animations of, like the crab that comes out of the underground snaps and goes back in. It's just the same thing over and over again for every
Yeah.
crab. There's no difference.
No.
Yeah.
And the hermit crabs do the same walk, and there's not really much you can do, to be fair.
No, yeah,
But
that's
it is
true.
the same thing.
It's quite simple,
It
really.
is simple. Yeah.
The levels are simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, one thing which is quite interesting about it is that it's not, in many ways, it's not a traditional platformer because of the whole kind of shooting bubbles out of his hands. It has that kind of contra feel to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's trying to be an open-ended platformer, which more like kind of like a Mario, which is, you know, fucking typical for 1,000,001 games at the time.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's kind of trying to throw a spanner in the works and say, we're not like a typical platformer.
We're an unplatformer.
Hey.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't think we need to elaborate on that anymore.
Mate.
That
Yeah.
was perfect.
In fact, I'm struggling for what next because
But yeah, so
I think
so,
that's it. Cash grab.
You get your cool. You get your cool up by collecting like red dots. So the cool dots, I assume,
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
and that
dots on
gives
the
you
7-Up that
a cool
aren't
percentage.
real cool dots. Is he eating them? Is he collecting them? But they're the dots from the 7-Up.
You can't collect him. He doesn't wear trousers or an overcoat. There'd be nothing to store them in. So he's got to be
He
devouring
could
them.
be like the guy up his
Up
bum.
his bum. Wouldn't it be a bit disconcerting? Like
Yeah,
you
so
know
what?
you were saying about the whole Superman thing. Like, wouldn't it be a bit disconcerting putting something which is identical to you up your own bum? Like, imagine you had
like a doll version of yourself.
yeah, imagine like you had like a 7-inch Steph and you just shoved it up your bum. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if that's the case, then Cool Spot's a really fucked up guy.
Yeah.
Like, really he should be locked up. Fuck his friends. Let his friends go. Lock him up. man like that shouldn't be allowed in society.
Yeah. So the first so there's like there's bits in so there's bits in the level where like the platform is just like stupidly hard.
It's a really challenging game.
And then like but then like you'll land and there'll just be enemies there and there's nothing you can really do but just land in the shitstorm and take it.
It's quite unforgiving at points.
And then
yeah.
it is quite tough.
No, it is.
It's very tough.
It's definitely got a level of challenge.
You then complete the level and it sees how much time you got left and how much cool rating you had, and you try and collect this 7-Up. So the advertising in the game. You collect 7-Up like logos to get extra points.
Yes.
You can collect 7-Up drinks that enemies drop conveniently when you're low on health
For more health.
to get more health.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of a level, you can get a 7-Up logo, and I assume you still get points for that, though. I assume it doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Which is quite minimal, really.
It is very
considering
that's
this is
it.
a 7-Up logo. They don't throw it in your face.
Well, no, exactly. The whole premise of this has been designed to advertise 7-Up. And it's
Well,
not...
I'm not even sure if it is, because if you look at the cover of the front game, 7-Up doesn't feature anywhere.
No, 7-Up.
But is that the European one? Because if
That's-
it's the European one, then it wouldn't.
Potentially, but there's still...
That is the
there's
European
still-
one, yeah.
But
Yeah,
even if
so
it
the
is the European one, if the purpose for the game was solely to sell 7-Up, you'd have 7-Up there somewhere.
No, exactly. It definitely would. Ah, here you go. So
Right,
here's...
so on the American version.
Ah, but that doesn't either.
Yeah.
No, on the American version, there's no 7-Up.
There you go. So no, you're...
Oh no, there is bottom right. A
Ah.
very small 7-Up.
But,
logo.
okay.
but at the same time, it's not as blatant as it could be, considering it's a tool of advertisement.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like,
Yeah, there you go, lad. So that's the bottle with the 7-Up logo on it.
yeah. And it says the Uncola on it.
Oh, fucking hate that.
It's hard work, isn't it? And that's the look. See, that's the
That's when we got
the European
the letter
one,
in it, yeah.
and it says SOS inside. I'm guessing,
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
or it says SOD, and it's just a message to some bloke. It's like, you sod,
Sod.
you bloody sod. I love that. Why do people not say sod anymore? Sod off.
Sort of.
Why
yeah.
do people not say
Yeah.
sod off anymore? Sod off is such a good old school put down, isn't it?
Oh, sod off.
Yeah, oh sod off. Go on.
It's such an
on,
English thing to say.
on your bike,
It's too
on your
English,
bike,
that's
sod
why.
off. It's brilliant. Yeah.
So they don't throw it in your face.
No, not at all.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
The thing is, type in Pepsi Man quickly, because
Pepsi
the
Man.
thing is, I think this is an example of really fucking blatant. Like, I mean, not even blatant, like over the top ad. Yeah. See, that was the cover.
The Pepsi Man cover
That
is just Pepsi Man.
I mean,
with
that's-
the Pepsi logo, with a man who is wearing the Pepsi logo on
But
his
the man is smaller than the words Pepsi Man
Yes.
Yeah.
and the Pepsi logo.
We have
But
to
you
play
see,
this.
oh look at the top right. That's some gameplay footage. But you see, Pepsi is everywhere. Your life is Pepsi. The points is a Pepsi logo.
And you're Pepsi Man.
You are Pepsi Man. You collect Pepsis. I mean, that is an example of just blatant fucking advertising,
Yeah.
because the whole premise Pepsi Man first for battle. But you see, like, that as an advertising game is something I would expect.
We can't call that
As
a
a
cash grab yet, lads. We haven't played it.
No.
But I think it's safe to say
It's a cash grab.
it's a cash
Oh look,
grab.
Pepsi Man remaster for PS4.
Pepsi Man 2
Fucking Brit. But yeah, look at that one.
featuring Dante from Devil May
May
Cry.
cry. Look at the one to the right of that.
Oh, my bad.
Just to the right of it.
That.
No, the one in the middle of it.
That.
Yeah, but look like the van and everything, and all
It's
the
a
Pepsis.
Pepsi van.
Pepsi on
A
it.
Pepsi van, and all the things you're picking up are Pepsis in the right. I mean,
Well, we're playing it. At
That's
some
like
point.
Crazy Taxi.
We're playing it for sure. He's in a bin. We're playing it.
yeah, we're definitely. Playing.
He's in a bin. We'll find that
But it's
somewhere.
like, yeah, like you say, like considering it is effectively an advertising tool, this game, Cool Spot, it's
Doesn't
not blatant.
do much
at all.
advertising.
No.
I mean, like I said, we were kids playing this all the time, and I had no idea.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I just thought it was some funky character they made.
Yeah, no, exactly. I consider it like the whole kind of Toe Jam and Earl thing.
Yeah, they made a good few games out of it as well. 3 or 4.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, never would have expected that whatsoever.
No, not at all.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, like as we were saying with the game itself, like you start to realise the repetitiveness of it though. Like once you finish the first level, the second level is in like a harbour or something.
Yeah, it's a dock.
Yeah. Pier.
A pier.
Pier.
And you know, it's kind of much the same. Like a lot of the enemies are effectively identical.
Yeah.
If not, they're similar.
I can't remember the levels later on. There's one where, like, the platforming gets rock hard. You're like in a bathtub and you've got a platform along like inflatable bits.
Yeah.
And I remember that was like the pinnacle. If we could beat that when we were kids, we were like,
You're doing all
we
right.
were great. Yeah. but like,
yeah.
I don't think it does change too much.
But that's the thing. It is repetitive and everything is very similar. But the fact is, it's one redeeming feature I find in that regard is the fact that it is tough. And the fact is, if this game was easy and repetitive, that is literally a deathly combination for a video game.
Yes.
If something's repetitive and easy, that's it. It's crap.
Yeah.
And it will become crap eventually because you can't maintain that level of interest. But if
Yes.
something's got a challenge to it, at least there's a reason to go back. You know, at least there's something to potentially keep you engaged with trying to conquer something. You know, having a mountain to climb, basically.
Yeah.
But you know, on the whole, I would say like it's much of a muchness. It's a pretty average game. It's a decent platformer. It's got decent animations, decent music, but it's nothing that's going to blow your mind.
No.
And I mean, I guess you know I could be a bit more forgiving considering that it's kind of an advertising tool and it's not strictly a game for being a game. But I don't know. I mean, it's fucking Cool Spot, man.
Yeah. So I'm having a quick look at some reviews.
Go on.
And Honest Gamers gave it an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
It's pretty good,
I'm not
isn't it?
sure I'd go that high.
No. And remember, this is 1994 as well. Lots of cool
There's
stuff.
11 stages.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a decent amount. They're quite long as well. Consider.
Oh, the second level goes on forever.
Yeah, consider that. You know, so I mean, it's not half bad amount of content, to be honest. But at the same time, if you've got loads of content and it's all the same shit, that's not a good thing. You know.
Getting old.
Yeah. It's rated really
It's
well.
It's rated really well.
We've found 4.5 stars on
4.5
Moby
stars?
Games.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! Actually, yeah, it's quite. I can see why it would be highly rated. I can see why people would like it.
Critic score 81, user score 3.6 out of 5.
So, but you see, that's more understandable for me. Like 3.5 out of 5 or something like that. That I can totally understand. But like 4.5? No, I don't think so. To be honest,
No.
not really. I think that's being a bit too lenient. A bit too
Yeah,
lenient
like-
with the grading system.
I like the graphics, everything, the gameplay was alright, and I loved it when I was a kid, but playing it now, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
It puts things into perspective a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah,
That's
alright,
that's
well,
about it.
would you carry on playing it then, guys?
that's a tough one to be. I think I would, but like not for a kind of
You wouldn't play through to the end?
no. I would definitely give it another go.
Yeah.
So I would continue to play it.
I think I'd give it another go. I think probably if I died another couple of times, game over, back to the beginning again, I'm not going any further than the second level.
Fair play.
That's the point. It does have the old game over mechanic as well. That once you lose all your lives, that's it. Straight back to the beginning.
Straight back, yeah.
You know, no.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be a password system or anything, did
No,
there?
there's nothing.
So that's it. So I
You're-
mean,
you're right back.
It is quite unforgiving in that regard.
Yeah. See, I think I'd play it again, but probably just for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, that's part of it for me as well. I think as
Yeah.
well. Just remember playing it back in the day.
Well, should we call wall it?
Let's do that.
Call the wall.
You see, I don't think it's going to be too bad on the call wall.
Let's
see. I mean, considering like you know we've had some real stinkers. We've had some
Yeah,
real
like the
Don't-
bottom one.
fucking
Right, so top 5. Number 1, GoldenEye N64. Number 2, The Warriors, PS2. Number 3, Hercules, PlayStation 1. Number 4, Aladdin, Mega Drive. And number 5, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World for the PS3.
Damn.
Right? Bottom 5, Little Nicky for the Game Boy Color. Back to the Future Part 1 for the NES. God, that feels like ages ago we done that, doesn't it?
Does, Jesus.
The Crow,
It was
PS1. Wayne's World, SNES. And Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction for the PlayStation 1.
You know what's going to be so fucking painful is that every time we do the call, we're going to have to call that out and it's going to be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Every single fucking time.
Unless we do 5 terrible
Thanks,
games that are worse than Powerpuff Girls.
I realised something just now.
What's that?
Grey Matter did both Wayne's World and The Crow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
That I didn't.
That's not good, is it?
I did not fucking notice that. And look, a lot of things line up. Traveller's Tales, 2 of them
Yeah.
are together. Toy Story 1 and Finding Nemo.
Yeah. We've got a Virgin Games that done Aladdin for the Mega Drive. That's up at number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, so initially, it's not going to interrupt the bottom 5 for me because Little Nicky definitely deserves to stay in the bottom 5. So it's not going to interrupt the bottom 5, and I don't think it's going to interrupt the top 5 either.
Oh, I wouldn't
No.
be. I wouldn't be looking that low. To be fair, I wouldn't.
No.
No.
The thing is, if I'm honest, I'm looking around the kind of Toy Story 1 area.
That's exactly what I was just thinking, you know.
Because I was
going down the list and I was like, yeah, Jurassic Park was fun, Moonwalker was fun, Action Man was fun, Toy Story 1, that's when my brain just went.
That's the kind of cut-off, isn't it? And the thing is that there's a year between them, between Cool Spot and Toy Story 1, and they're both on the same systems. Well, you know what I mean, like era, SNES, Mega Drive, that sort of thing. So I think it's a middle of the road thing.
It's hard. I think I prefer Toy Story 1 just for the look of it.
I think
I
Cool
thought it
Spot's a
looked
better
really
looking
good.
game than Toy Story 1.
Do you?
Yeah, for sure. Toy Story 1 looked disgusting. With Woody, do you not remember that fucking evil animation of Woody?
Yeah.
He didn't have great animation, no.
He looked terrible.
Yeah, and Buzz fucking doing his weird fucking
His weird
posy-
movements and all that. Like, it wasn't a good
Yeah,
looking
fuck
game.
it. It's going underneath Toy Story 1.
No. It's been above Toy Story 1.
What?
It's better than Toy Story 1.
Going above Toy Story 1.
That was, you know what? You know when you like literally see someone's brain turn off?
Yeah. Tom, do you
such a
agree
brain
with
fart.
that?
Yeah, I do. I think above Toy Story 1. Or below, whatever. Whatever you like. Yeah. Cool Spot. So that would be the new number 13. So it's on unlucky number 13. Why has Chemical Extraction gone fucking massive? Is it because it's twice as good a game as you say it is?
It's twice as shit as I said it was. When did this game come out?
94. Or 1994.
Nice, cheers, mate.
August 2.
August 2. August the 2.
August the 2. Yeah. So that's it. It's in at number 13. So now is the big question. In fact, it's the only reason why our podcast is called Cash Grab. Because we then finish our podcast by saying, is it a cash grab? So, is it a cash grab?
Oh, I just realised Virgin Interactive also done Hercules, which Hercules and Aladdin are right next to each other.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Everything's doubling up.
Right, is it a cash grab?
Adam. Actually, it's...
No.
Oh. Really?
Like we said, they could have done so much more with the advertising. It's not a bad game, so they didn't just like chuck it out. Like,
Yeah.
It's repetitive and it has its aspects which are, just lackluster. But it's an all right game. You can play it, especially back in the day. You two were saying that you two used to play it all the time.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, all the time.
frequently.
Very much. Yeah.
And you had no idea that it was 7-Up. So I don't think it was a cash grab, or if it was, it failed.
Yeah.
No, I
really
think-
good point.
I think if anything, I don't know, like, it comes across as obviously a cash grab. Like, as soon as you say it's a Mascot game, you're just like, oh, cash grab,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, from the string of things, they probably are like the Sneak King and Pepsi Man and all that.
Sneak
Like,
King,
they are very like in your face. This is the product.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're not buying our product. But yeah, there's just none of it. And you're right, Adam. The fact that when we were kids, we had no idea this was a 7-Up game.
I mean, take it into account. We're talking about the European version of it, which purposely held back on the 7-Up
But the
logo.
fact that
Did yeah.
a game advertising their product, they were willing to take off the branding and take that says it
And
all.
only put it in little bits.
Yeah.
Oh no!
We're getting a phone call.
0800? I don't know then. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd say what they done was they just took a character who was already going.
Oi! Oh, fuck off! He answered my phone! You're such a twat!
What was it? PPI.
Now they're going to call me back all the fucking time.
It was Pete from Bangladesh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I better give him a call back. He's my mate.
Yeah,
Fucking
so
hell, Adam, they'll never stop calling me now. Bastard. Sorry.
I completely forgot where I was. Yeah, no, I feel like they just took. They wanted to make a game, and I don't know. At this point, they were at this point they were making Disney games.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just like, oh, let's get our hands in something else, and they just thought, let's take a character who already exists and see what we can do with it. I
Yeah.
don't think it was let's fucking rain 7-Up down upon people with this game.
No, I think you're right. So I'd be in agreement, to be honest, and say it's not a cash grab. Although, like, the North American version is a bit more blatant with its advertising, it's still not particularly blatant, and the European one is effectively non-existent.
It's only got like 4 different things in it that are 7-Up.
Yeah, and considering 7-Up would have put money into this as an advertising tool,
Yeah.
then the developer and the studio didn't put all of that advertising money into something just for the sake of advertising. They actually made a half-decent game out of it.
Yeah.
So really, it's not a cash grab, because those developers could have just taken the majority of that money, put a load of shitty advertising all over it, stamped a really bad game out of there, and just taken the money and ran for the hills.
Exactly, yes. This
But
is
they
exactly what
didn't. They actually made a pretty decent platformer out of it.
Yeah.
And a decent game.
And it's quite replayable. As we saw when we were kids, we played it all the time, and we all would play it again.
There you go. So no, not a cash grab.
Who the
Sweet.
fuck would have expected that?
I didn't expect that.
I
at
didn't
all.
expect that at all. Honestly, when I thought, oh, we'll do this, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be another cash grab at the bottom of the pile.
Exactly. Jesus. That was definitely
We're done well, guys.
Yeah.
well done. Well done to you and you.
Thanks.
The two people who were in the room with me.
Nice.
Steph and Adam.
Right, so we missed Halloween.
Yes.
Deal with it.
That's how
know
you
if
treat.
that's-
That's how you treat your viewers. That's
We,
the Trump attitude to viewers.
Yeah, we did have a game in mind, but it kind of fell through. We didn't have enough time to do it all.
Yeah.
But we'll do that. I'm
Barbie
not gonna say-
Pegasus.
Barbie Pegasus.
We can do that because Barbie is a franchise,
Ooh.
Fuck.
and Barbie's had TV series and movies, and dolls, and are they action figures? Barbie action figure,
There's no
or is it a doll?
action in fucking Barbie, is there? Let's be honest.
Depends. Oh, very rude gesture, Tom.
If you get the Ken combination pack.
With karate
wanky,
chop action.
wanky Barbie, Warby.
Barbie. Yeah, we might have to
Chop
play that at
action.
some point.
And that's Ken.
Solo. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so we'll think of something.
Yes.
We've got an idea for Christmas this time, so we've actually thought ahead.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. We won't say it because that's spoiler.
That would kind of spoil
I'm not gonna
like
do it.
10 episodes time.
Yeah, fucking hell. Christmas is coming quick, man. Quickmas.
Quickmas. Right, yeah. So should we call it there?
Yes, indeed we shall. So thank you for listening and watching, but not in the traditional format. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe, press the bell to get notifications and all that jazz. And if you're on SoundCloud, once again, follow us, but be sure to go over to YouTube and do the same. You can get hold of us on Twitter and Instagram at Cash Grab Podcast and through our email, cashgrabpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you in the next episode.
That's exactly it.
Very well done, Tom.
Laters.
Lovely.
Cheers, Adam. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.